the fun with it. Instead of getting them all, one chance to let them rest.
Okay, you fans of Raymond Chandler fiction, hard-boiled detective, short stories and novels, I'm going to take you to where he lived in 1934 in this apartment, this small discreet apartment at 1639 Redesdale. He wrote The Smart ALECK KILL and Fingerman. And this address where he lived at was right in the middle of Silverlake, a suburb of Los Angeles. And this place also was his fictional Graylake instead of Silverlake. Okay, a lot of this is pretty much the way it looked when Raymond Chandler lived here. These type of Spanish style motifed bungalows. Okay, here he lived in 1934 after living at 4616 Greenwood Place, in this very discreet place. And before, in 1933 at 4616 Greenwood Place, which I've already filmed incidentally for you Raymond Chandler fans / Philip Marlowe. He wrote Blackmailers Don't Shoot, and in this apartment he wrote the two stories Smart ALECK KILL and Fingerman. Smart ALECK KILL came out in July of 1934, and then Fingerman October 1934, and that was the first short story he used to Philip Marlowe the character in. And he was obviously living off a year from his friends very gracious and generous $100 a month that they were giving him for testifying for them in a trial that they were, for whatever reason, they were all executives at Dabney Oil Syndicate. And if you fans from all over the world want to come, it's on the corner of Rotary Drive and Redesdale. And I already filmed where he lived with Cissy, Cissy's sister, Lavinia and Archie, and they lived there in 1932. And I guess they were already pretty much hurting. They had already left their house at 1104 South Longwood, which I incidentally already filmed and uploaded. And then they moved to Greenwood Place, and that's where he wrote Blackmailers Don't Shoot. And then here, his friends' help were it was paying obviously dividends, because he was gestating the later style and forms that would later come out in all his great novels in the late 30s and 40s and 50s. And it's fantastic that this is all here, the LA hard-boiled film noir atmosphere of the 1930s and 40s. And it was supposed to be Graylake in all his stories and his novels. So if you're at all interested and curious what Graylake was, this is what he was talking about. And this house where he lived with Lavinia and Archie around the corner in 1932, it's seriously precarious. It's like on a cliff overlooking, I think you can see the lake from that area. I'm not too sure, but here it is, living very discreet, like his character Harlan Potter later on in The Long Goodbye. And there you go. I could just imagine him here in 1934, parking here in that fantastic era of the Deep Depression, that style and those cars. And here he'd be walking up here, and I imagine Cissy would be waiting for him, what with her having that terrible asthma. And maybe he was always picking all these high places because she was asthmatic and she needed a type of, probably a thinner air perhaps. Okay, well, let's continue this virtual tour of Raymond Chandler's / Philip Marlowe's Los Angeles of the 1930s and 40s. And I've already filmed the house where he was at in 1932 after, I guess, they went to Seattle for some reason after living at Longwood, after he got fired from the Dabney Oil Syndicate. And this is where he lived in 1932 with Archie and Lavinia Brown. Okay, well, the great Raymond Chandler lived here. This great architecture from the 1920s, 30s. Wow. And see if you can see back there, it's like totally cantilevered, and everything's just very precarious. I'm surprised all this place is standing, what with all Los Angeles earthquakes from that era. Okay, beautiful. I can't believe it. Extant, perfect, taken well care of. Okay, follow me and please subscribe to my channel. And long live the great Raymond Chandler and his fantastic, cool cat, cynical, hard-boiled character, Philip Marlowe. Cynical, but yet very honorable. And there you go. I can get a little shot of the cantilevered down there that all these houses are pitched over. Okay, let's continue. Thank you very much. Okay.